Are we there? Well, hello, everyone. I am Rebecca Christensen, and I am CEO of Aura Systems, and I want to welcome all of you innovators that are online with us today. We have a very diverse audience joining us. I have heard from across the US, so that's quite exciting. I want to tell you what to expect today. We're going to go through the program that we're offering. It's discover your purpose, transform your world. And we recognize that that's an audacious title, and that in saying that, we have to live into it. So within today, what you're going to be able to see is how we intend to live into that and what we bring to you in your world. But the reason that we describe you as an innovator, because everyone sitting in a seat today is there for a reason. Something spoke to you, something resonated with you. And what that means is that I think all of us are at a place in time when we don't want to leave who we are outside the door of where we work, that we want to take all of us into that world. And one of my favorite guides is Einstein, and he says that every one of us is born to genius. And the way I look at that is that if you just look at the miracle of nature, see us as an ecosystem, see all of us as that. And in that ecosystem, do you think they left human nature out of the miracle of nature? And it would be audacious to think that they didn't include us. So this class teaches you to find that genius inside of you, to ignite your purpose, why you came to Earth. All of you on this call, most of you in public service, are here to serve. So with that, what I really want to do is I want to go, and in guiding you today, what we're going to do is take you through each step of the class. What are you going to experience? And then after we tell you about that experience, we're going to allow you to experience this with us. And each one of you, we're going to ask you a question. And then in chat, you're going to be responding. So when we send follow up to you, we can include that. So with that, what I want to do is reach out and thank CPS HR. This is a new relationship. I've guided Cal IPGCA, the California Innovation Playbook, since 2012. And Cal HR introduced us, and it was just an intersection of people that worked, and the opportunity to really expand who we are in the world. So I can't thank enough CPS HR for actually standing behind a program that says discover your purpose and transform your world. So it means that as partners, that's what we're committing to. And that's who we are. So with that, I want to introduce you to your guides. It's Sam and I. Many people will be joining us. So Sam, why don't you tell everybody about you?
Hello, everybody. I am so pleased to meet you all today and to be here with you. I represent the Cal IPGCA, or the California Innovation Playbook for Government Change Agents. Like many of you, a couple years ago, I kind of hit this point where I wanted to know, what is my own personal brand of leadership? And I was going through some difficult stuff at work at the beginning of a pandemic and really grappling how to handle this kind of thing. The Just Ask Why curriculum did for me what I hope it'll do for you folks. It sent me on my own journey of what kind of leader I wanted to be. It helped me show up and be more available at work. It really transformed my workplace. It's been transformative in my personal life and my professional life. And I just want to support and help and guide and get this curriculum out to you folks, because I feel like it is so worth going through and it adds so much value.
Okay, and Sam, what I want to say about Sam, she was an extraordinary trainee in the course. The Just Ask Why was a component of a huge program, the California Innovation Playbook, and it was really always one of the core conduits of the program. And those who really invested in those, Just Ask Why, and that conduit, that track of training inside this larger program, were the people who really transformed. Those were the people that at the end, when we were doing our day of innovation, wanted to be an innovationist and give a TED talk and speak out to the world about what it meant to them to be at the heart of who they were in their lives. So Sam and I are going to be joined in this journey with all of you by backstory storytellers. And we've been very privileged since 2012 to work with infinite range of leadership and to actually get to know them pretty intimately and who they are in the world and who they are in their life. So just as an example today, Grace Koch is going to be a backstory storyteller. And she was the chief deputy director at the California Governor's Office of Emergency Services. She held that for probably a decade before retiring. The reason she's telling her backstory is that for me, as I view her, and I think as she views herself, her mission in life is to actually be there for those who are facing challenge in extreme situations. I mean, that's what she lives for. And whether it's in her work or whether it's working outside with women who have been abused, women who have been sexually abused, physically abused, that's her work in the community of life. Now, John Sanborn is the Chief Learning Officer for Cal HR, and he's actually responsible for us being today. He made the introduction to CPS HR and said, I think this looks like a union that will work. And to us, that's what John does. That's his mission in life. He connects dots. He connects the dots between people and opportunities. And I know that he has connected infinite dots for us with Cal IPGCA. So in the class, they will be videotaped. They will be telling you their backstory. And their backstory is always originating from their own map of life. And that's what we're going to be teaching you. There's a map of life, and it's your map of life. And it's not necessarily what happened to you, but how you responded to it that is defining your purpose and the character. They're going to be chatting with you about that, how they discovered it, how they brought it into their world, how it became who they were, how they connected it to what they do. So I think that is an aspect. We don't expect you to actually do this without modeling the way. So Sam and I will be the beginners of telling you how our lives have been impacted, how we found our truths, and we will be doing that for you in the initiation, followed by our leaders. So Sam, I'm gonna let you take over right now for what, why, and how.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Beck. I so appreciate it. So what this curriculum does is it really takes you on a multi-week journey. As Becca alluded to, I went through a cohort that was multiple months long, and the Just Ask Why was a small piece of that curriculum. And this, to me, the why part was the most transformative moment for me. The curriculum that I went through that was the 6-month cohort, it touched on tech, it touched on building collaboration networks between agencies. But this piece, this why, it really stuck with me. And I'll tell you why. So I was an amazing bureaucrat before the pandemic. I was really good at the how. The how. How do we get processes done? What resources do we need to do them? What are the deadlines? How are we going to get this done? But I missed that why portion. And I think a lot of people do. A lot of folks really struggle with the why. They don't know how to take it from a concept into reality and put it into application. And so when we look at the why framework, you really have to find what your true essence of why is. What motivates you? Why do you do the things you do? What kind of leader is it that you want to be? How is it that you want to show up in the world? What drives you? That's your why, your internal purpose and your compass. I think that this is a very human question. A lot of people kind of struggle with the why. But once you get to understand yourself, how it is that you want to show up, what is important to you, then you can transcend that why to your team, to your organization, to your community, to your family, to the world. So the why is the most important question, and it is something that we grapple with. We have a really hard time kind of understanding. What we aim to do in just a few short weeks is give you that why, give you that essence, and then give you the tools so you can take that concept and turn it into reality and turn it into practice.
And I think right now what I want to do is let you know what my personal mission in life is, because it's my why, it's what I live by. And my personal mission is to ignite one system of innovation and human potential that unites the world. And so if I were to look at that, I get to live my mission right here, right now. That's why all of you are on the call today. That's why Cal IPGCA was so important, is that there is nothing more transformative to me than seeing the light bulb go on inside of you, because there's an interesting thing that happens when we peel away the onion and we look at what's my truth, what's my why, what am I here in the world to do. That as we connect that to our work, we become the source of fuel that ties our personal mission to that of our work. So we are going to, this is an immersive course. It's 4 hours, but it's immersive and it's reflecting of us. We all become mentors. We all become mirrors to each other. But can you imagine what the state of California would be if it would unlock the truth of why inside its 240,000 employees? And guess what? This can work really well inside a hierarchy. The only thing that has to happen is those leading have to give you and you and you voice. There has to be a capacity for you to express you without having a hand slapped and being able to give those thoughts and ideas. It might not be the original thought or idea that you contribute, but as one idea connects to another idea, connects to another idea, that is innovation. So right now, what we're going to give you is your first chance to participate. And we want you to be very bold. We're going to ask you to do it in chat. It will become part of what we give back to you. But what comes to mind when you think of one word that describes your truth, your purpose in the world? Put it in chat. We'll give you a minute. And Sam, you can monitor chat and call it out, because as long as I'm sharing, it doesn't come up.
Okay, got it. Yeah, one of the things I saw was stewardship. I know if you're a public civil servant, stewardship is something that really resonates with you. I see, oh, thrive. My goodness, yes, it is a new year. This is our time to thrive. I know I was talking to some friends the other day and they said, so what's your New Year's resolution? I said, this year, I don't want to survive. I want to thrive. This is the year that I want to thrive. Service. I know if you're a public civil servant, a big part of your why is living in service of others, contributing to a greater good, being part of something that is larger than yourself. I think a lot of folks are trying to find ways to give back, especially with what's happening down in LA right now. We're searching and we're trying to find these ways that we can be part of larger systems, that we can be a contributing member of the bigger whole, or the holacracy, as we like to say here at the Cal IPGCA. Oh,
Sam, when I look at people thriving, I mean, if you look at us as the human system and part of the ecosystem, that when a plant sprouts and it gets to grow in the sun rather than in the shade, that's when it becomes prolific. And if those of us who live in service of others, we want to live in the sunshine. I mean, I had one New Year's resolution to only do things that bring me joy so that I can wake up. And I told CPS HR that as we work with our relationship with this incredibly beautiful organization that sees much of the world as we do, that it's about being joyful about what we do. I mean, we didn't think that we could take joy in the workplace. When we live in our truth, we live in our power, and we bring that mission and connect that to the mission of our organization and what we do out into the community, we are in service and we thrive. So, Sam, I think I'm going to take us on to our next slide. And it's a real interesting one because it's how we're integrating. Week 2, which is March 13th, will teach us how we integrate our personal why with our organizational why. And much of this is going to be donated to a video that we're going to play right now. And this is Sam. And Sam chose to be an innovationist at our Day of Innovation. And this is her TED Talk that she spoke out to the world. So I'm going to connect us to that. Okay, this said it didn't connect.
My name is Samantha Blackwood, and I am also very grateful to work for Department of Water Resources. What I wanted to share with all of you folks today
hi,
was
Becca. We can hear the audio, but we can't see the visual.
Right. I'm going to fix that.
This program. And what really hit me was why the why matters.
Hold
when
on.
the COVID-19 pandemic happened,
Sorry about that. Let me see if this works. Okay. Sam, let me try it one more time and see if I can get this to work.
No worries
Okay,
if
what
not.
we're going to do is, Sam, tell them about your why.
Yeah, no worries. I'm so grateful for that. Thank you. So when I first joined the Cal IPGCA and I did the longer cohort, which was 6 months, and we got to the why piece, it was right in the beginning. You have to understand your why before you can fully invest in a whole 6-month innovation course. This was right at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, which was just blew everything up, blew everything out of the water. It was hard for a lot of people. And for me in particular, I had just been promoted at work. I'm an HR manager with the California Department of Water Resources. And so when the COVID-19 pandemic happened, it was like, Sam, figure out how to do telework. Sam, figure out how to give administrative time off for all this COVID leave. Sam, oh, there's also wildfires, so figure that out. Sam, there's civil unrest, so figure out how we can be a more equitable employer. And so, like any good bureaucrat, I really got down to the how. How am I going to make this happen? What process do I need to put in place? And the only tools that I had in my tool belt up to this point was maybe some lean white belt training, a servant leadership. Like if I just roll up my sleeves, if I just work hard enough, if I model the way, my whole team will rally behind me and they'll work as hard as I am, right? Wrong. They had their own stuff going on. We're all just doing the best we can. And so I thought, gosh, there is really something different that I need to be doing here. And like many of you, you've probably seen the Simon Sinek Start With Why TED Talk. It's the most watched TED Talk of them all. It has millions of views. And it's short, 4 or 5 minutes. And he goes, you just got to start with why. Every great company starts with why. People don't buy the how, they don't buy the what, they buy the why. And then he talks about how Apple company is such a great product because it's not like they just sell iPods and iPhones. They sell a product that's supposed to change your life. And so people buy into that why. So, I watched this TED Talk, and anytime you listen to a motivational speaker or a TED Talk or you read a great leadership book, you come back and you're all pumped and you're super jazzed and you're like, oh, this is so exciting. I can't wait to apply this to my workplace. And then you come back and you go, how do I start? How do I start with why? What is it that I'm supposed to do so I can be like this amazing motivational speaker that I just saw on stage? And that's where my real pivotal moment switched. I thought, oh my goodness, our workload in some areas, and these are real numbers, increased by 4,000%. So imagine if you show up to work tomorrow and you're told, you did a great job. I love that you gave 100% today, but I'm going to need you to give 4,000% tomorrow. And I'm going to need you to figure out how to get everybody underneath you and your whole team to give 4,000%. That was the real scenario that I was faced with. And so one of the things that we decided to do is, when you come to work, there's different reasons that you come. There's the what. There's the, I need job security. We all need money. We need the benefits. But why did you choose the job you chose? And what is it giving to you? So when we really got down to that question, what the pivotal moment is that what we do matters. This makes a difference. Approving COVID leave changes lives. Making sure that our employees are safe during fires and evacuations, that's important. That is a matter of life or death. That matters. It all makes a difference. And that administrator sitting at their desk, making those decisions, reading the emails, doing the forms, you are more than a paper pusher. What you do matters. It makes a difference. The why matters. So when we got the team together, we all decided, well, why do we work here? What was the decision that you chose this department over another department? And we all had the same why. We want to make a difference. We want to help. We want to leave things better than we found them. And when we got down to that our purpose is service, our purpose is helping, our purpose is making things and leaving things better than we found them, we decided to come up with a motto. And our motto was, what we do matters. And we started every meeting with, what we do matters. This matters. It makes a difference. And we started to find these human interest stories of how our work had a real nexus and connection to who it is that we serve. And we had employees tell us stories about, oh, my spouse is a first responder, or they're in one of those critical positions. They're a nurse or a doctor at Sutter, Davis, Kaiser, so they have to be there. Both of my children contracted COVID, and I'm just here trying to telework and do the best I can. So for us to approve that COVID leave by the end of the day, so that they could take that critical, necessary leave that they needed. Maybe it was 40 hours, maybe it was 80 hours, so that they could take care of their families, take care of their children. That mattered. That made a difference. That meant something to someone. And so we started to tell these stories about why what we do matters, and we matter, and the decisions that we make matter, and how we show up, it matters. And what we found is that not only did our productivity shoot through the roof, but our HR shop that we worked in, we had 100% retention throughout the entire pandemic. Our staff didn't feel burnt out. They felt seen. They felt validated. They felt like they were all working towards a common purpose. We were all united towards this purpose. We validated each other. We celebrated our successes. And it all came down to that why. My style of leadership needed to change because it wasn't about process. It wasn't about policy. It was about purpose. And that's what we'd like to give you in this course. Did I about cover it, Becca?
You covered it completely. And you mentioned Steve Jobs in this and how Simon Sinek uses Steve Jobs and Apple. One of the quotes that I love from Steve Jobs, because it's truly how he lived his life, is follow your heart, follow your intuition because it already knows what you truly want to become. And I think that that's why he uses it from that perspective, because people don't buy, like we just said, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And your why is simply proving that you believe. So truth speaks to truth on all of this. And when you believe, I'm going to be so bold to say that I feel as an observer that Sam's mission in life is I matter. I mean, that makes her the nexus of her world. That as the nexus of her world, when she connects in community to her 40 staff that are leading the DWR, that we matter. So Sam gets to go to work every day. She doesn't leave herself outside the door. She gets to bring who she is into her environment. And as who she is, the beingness in the world is the one that leads. So right now, we're going to ask you, what does that feel like to know that you matter, to know that your voice counts? So create one word in chat that describes the feeling of empowerment that you feel in being known that you matter. We'll give you a minute. And Sam, again, sharing, you're going to have to call it out as you see it come up in chat.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, your feeling of empowerment it's relief, it's rewarding, it's purpose, validation, strength, energy. I love the exclamation point, energy. That's right. It's gratitude. I'll tell you, once I found my why, I really got into my groove here, to the point where, my department felt I did a good enough job with that. They created a position, and I'm the very first person, which by default makes me the youngest person to hold this position, but I'm now the talent manager for my department. And I'm responsible for all workplace initiatives, strategic planning, workforce succession planning, culture, engagement, that fire that ignites you. And I tell everyone, I am the luckiest person in the world. I love my job. It is hard for me to log off at the end of the day. I wake up excited. I am so jazzed about what I do because I found that I'm living within my purpose. And I just want to give that gift to you folks so badly. I want you to find your purpose. I want you to live within your purpose. I see here it gives you fulfillment, belonging, value. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so next, what we're going to do is in week 3, we're going to take you from the perspective of integrating your personal why outside into your community. And let me give you an example of that. In 2023, Cal IPGCA, after the 2022 cohort, decided it was going to it was going to deploy. And it was going to deploy from government into people. So Sam and I today, we represent government and people. I'm private sector, Sam's public sector. We are one system, we are one partnership. So we decided with Cal IPGCA, we're going to deploy it. Well, guess what? This year we are launching the most amazing program. And Cal IPGCA developed this program called Missed Abilities. And Missed Abilities actually hit all of us. And those missed abilities are you in your work? Are you boxed in by a job description? Is there a missed ability inside of you that you're just wanting to express? Or what we did with DMV, we did a prototype system of beta testing what all of us were creating. So we were doing moonshots inside the Cal IPGCA, and the beta test allowed people from across the state of California to come in and beta test, and they could pick from our moonshots what they were excited about, and then they could look at what we were doing and they could give it voice. what DMV found when it brought its employees in, and it brought almost 100 people into the program for 6 weeks, that it brought the most incredible talent. And the main question on the opportunity to participate is, what's your why? Why do you want to participate? And these people just felt like, Sam, it's release. It's a breath of fresh air to have someone ask for my guidance, to ask for my input. And it was so successful that we created a playbook for DMV of just everyone's why they wanted to participate. And what that gives us is the opportunity to look at how we take our why into our work, and we use ourselves as the source of fuel to actually propel the mission of that organization and that service out to society. You just heard Sam talk about that how she took her why I matter into her work and environment, and because of that she was made the talent manager for the whole of DWR. So from a standpoint of taking it into community, Sam, our question on that one is, let's look at it. Let's go.
I've got it.
Okay.
What is one community you care about, and how can your why contribute to it?
And so if you don't know what your why is, what we want you to do like now is don't let your head speak, let your heart speak. And when your heart speaks, what makes you excited, what gives you, energizes you to get up each day, what would you like to give to community from that place of heart?
Yeah, I know, just a personal aside, I like to contribute time, and it's my why is service, contributing, making things better than I found them. And it's something that I like to instill in my family as well. And so I do have a 5-year-old, and I so desperately wanted to find opportunities for him to volunteer in the community. And there's not a lot available for a 5-year-old, but I will tell you, we were at the McKinley Park Rose Garden in Sacramento, California, and we saw a big group of people out there, and they had these buckets and they had shears and these gloves. And we went over there and I said, hey, what's going on over there? And they said, well, we're a nonprofit. We're friends of McKinley Park, and we prune the rose bushes. You know, at the end of this season, the roses really like it. And I thought, oh gosh, this is a great opportunity to teach my son about giving back. And it's definitely something he's capable of doing. And so we gave him some shears and some gloves, and he was just out there pruning rose bushes with the rest of them. He filled his bucket up. Look at how good I did. And he was so proud of his ability to give back. He didn't need anything extra or special to do it, just himself, showing up as himself, contributing his time and his talent and his attention to make our community better.
Sam, that's an incredible, beautiful story. And your son, I mean, he's just an absolute light in the world. Another example from Cal IPGCA is that we are mentoring a previously incarcerated man who actually wrote his memoir. This is one of the programs I'm proudest of that we're doing in community right now. And he wrote his memoir in prison, having spent 32 years there. A friend of his, they went out, and 32 years ago, they were on a marijuana drug deal that's now legal, and his friend shot someone. And so he was incarcerated because he was with his friend, and he lived in prison for 32 years. He only had a small amount of paper, so he wrote his memoir in prison on a manual typewriter using both sides of that paper. So what you got when you got his memoir was his head to his heart to the words, and he's the most incredible human being. On May 16th, and all of you will be welcome to come. We're releasing his memoir. We're having a big concert from a composer whose music goes from his heart to yours, that performs in prisons around the world. And across the street from where I live at Praise Ministries, there's 500-seat auditorium. We'll be releasing the memoir. and featuring this. And that's what Cal IPGCA has done as it has deployed and it has taken itself out into the world. We get to take what we have created inside government and offer it to the world. So Sam, not being able to see chat, where are we on offering why into the community?
Oh, yeah, we have helping special needs children, children especially who are underserved. We have women, BIPOC people in business and enterprise, the homeless community, connecting state agencies. That also super resonates with me being a state worker. I joined civil service because I thought there has to be a better way. Why are we not all talking and sharing resources?
And, to that, I think that, again, this is part of the story of why we have combined our efforts with CPS HR, is that Cal HR said, look, Rebecca, with Cal IPGCA not actively teaching in government, it left an abyss. And that abyss it left is our superpower is connecting the dots of all leaders, of all agencies, and of all organizations. And those are the leaders that we're bringing to you from the head. But there's the leadership and there is the people, and both have to be working in tandem together with each other. So when we look at that, how does that express to our teams? And Sam, I just think reflecting back on your innovationist expression and how your why came in and what that gives to a team.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that we are doing here at this department is we're trying to do more community work. One of the things we realized early on, and this is also tied to my why, is I was given a team of one, that's right, one person to be the recruiter for my department. Looking at that and realizing this is not going to work, I thought, every person who works here, all 3,000 plus of us, we're all recruiters. We all have our own stories, our own experiences we can share, and our all why of why we chose this great, amazing place. And so one thing that we're doing is we're expanding out our program to train every single employee who would like to be a recruitment ambassador for our department. And so when you work within your why, you think outside the box. You get comfortable with uncomfortable. You become a master at building the plane while you're flying it.
And when you look at that, what we want to do is ask you right now, we want you to kind of like close your eyes and think about, all of us have had the capacity to be in a team and to have a team that's just expressive. It's thriving. You come in and you're excited about what you have to contribute. Just like today, even though it's more silent that we would like to have it, as we come in and we share our why with you, you walk out a different person than when you walked in. So it's kind of the inverse of competitiveness when you withhold what you want. What happens with your why is you contribute. It's the inverse of that. You're contributing who you are into that circle. And it might not, again, be that original contribution, but when your contribution speaks to another and speaks to another and speaks to another, it blooms. It's like it's in the sunshine. It's blooming, it's growing, it's changing, it's morphing. And you walk away with a bigger brand of you than when you walked into the room. So, this way of living and being in the world actually expands your personal brand. And the more you tie who you are to the mission of your organization, then even if you're doing something you don't like doing, guess what? If you're fueling it from your why, at the end of the day, you walk away a more prominent you than when you walked in the morning. Don't think that adverse situations, they have an incredible way of growing your why, of adding insight, of adding knowledge. And that something that's challenging, mine it for the gift that it gives you. So, and quite frankly, we don't want you to think that you have to change your job to do this. You don't. You just have to be who you are. And guess what? once you don't allow that world around you to impact you and take away who you are in the world, the more you attract what you want to be. Is it a new boss that comes to you? Is it a new idea? Is it a job over here? Is it something in the community that calls you? Don't allow the world around you, no matter what, to take away the heart or the empowerment of who you are inside. But just think what it does to create a thriving team. So in doing that, envisioning all of that of teams that have really worked for you, in chat, we want you to let us know what single word is demonstrating how you felt when you were in that type of collaborative environment of that team. So Sam, again, you're going to have to call it out.
Yes, ma'am, I'm on it. Energized, empowered, safe, inspired, confident, self-aware, fulfilled, empowered. I can feel the energy in these words. These are high power words. Accomplished, connected. So imagine if you're working within your why without having changed anything else, like Becca said, not your job, not your boss, you're just manifesting these things because you are living within your own personal purpose. How energized you are, how people just intrinsically want to join your team, how that transcends to your teams. Wouldn't you want to work in this environment that is just energized and powerful, impactful, inspired? You feel alive. I love this. Yes, 2025 is the year to thrive, everyone.
You know, and one of the words that really came up and out for me as you were describing all this was safe. And one of the things that we can guarantee to you in this class is that you will feel safe. A lot of times when we're venturing out and boldly reflecting who we are in the world, it's new to us. It's a new skill to us. I mean, hierarchies tell us what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. It's kind of like mother and dad and kids. It's kind of like a replication of that, only it goes out into business. So it's really hard when you are deciding who you are in the world and what you want to be able to express that, and you have to feel safe. Another example for me is the husband that sits beside me and the person I live with every day. I married him later in life. We've been married 21 years. And before that, relationships for me, I always had to shut down parts of Becca, Rebecca, and Becky. I just had to, they were distinct personalities I wear, and parts of me couldn't live in that environment with that person. That husband I share my life with, he loves every part of me. I get to be expressive. I get to be at home. So what we're telling you is, in this world, in this class, what you're going to find is the safety of your cohort and the ability to find home, and that feeling that you can express this, you can be bold. So lastly, in week 5, we're going to put the why, and we're going to put everything together. We're going to come in and we're going to connect your personal why to your organizational why to your community why. What would it feel like to be able to live all of who you are in the world? I'm experiencing a monumental birthday this year, and again, I have reached a point that my one resolution is to only do things that give me joy. Well, guess what? I get to wake up each morning, and my life is absolutely robust. We have this program going within the state of California in government. We're building an electronic resume with DMV, a digital resume of who you are in the world to connect technology and human systems. I have a book coming out at the end of the year, but it's everything I love. It's absolutely everything I love. So the ability to take that and combine who you are in the world. So there's only one you going out. And that one you can express itself in a gazillion different ways. It's just, I mean, look at Sam and saying, I matter. We matter. Just think about that being your mission in life and how you could take that one mission and express it in every single part of your life. Or me with my mission of igniting one system of innovation and human potential. I mean, what is this class? It's developing your human potential. And guess what? We call you innovators because you're innovating you. You are finding the nexus of you, how it connects and fuels the mission of your work, and how it connects and fuels the mission of the greater world that you serve. So, Sam, anything to add on that one?
Yeah, I will say that this course, it is for you. And you will get more out of this course than you will out of a decade worth of performance reviews, probation evaluations, one-on-ones with your boss, because the purpose is different. That is to hold you accountable for how good you are at your job. This course is about you. We see you. We want to help you. We want to give you the tools to succeed in personal and professional life. And so this course, it is for you.
So what we want to do is in chat, we're at 12:48. We want to be able to open up for questions and answers. What we want to do is ask you to sit back and feel your passion, feel your heart, the work that empowers you in the community, and the community inspires your personal growth. Give us one word that describes how you feel if you could combine and live the truth of you as one beingness in this world. What would that feel like? Sam, again, I'm going to let you monitor chat.
You got it. We'll give it a moment for the responses to come up. Oh my goodness, dynamic peace. I love that. Freedom and autonomy, happiness. Yes. Would you like to show up and be happy every day with what it is that you do and who you are? Fulfillment, abundance, authenticity. My goodness, yes. Yes, I will tell you that when you live within your why, it is more about who you are than what it is you can do. And if you just show up as who you are, you will have peace and you will be happy because you will be living within your purpose. Passion, joy.
Sam, one of the people that I consider my mentor that lives beyond space and time is actually Martin Luther King. And obviously his birthday is coming up on February 20th, I believe. But just look at the why of Martin Luther King. I have a dream. And that's the legacy. That's absolutely the legacy. Like Sam's, I matter. I have a dream. And obviously that dream is of a united world. Well, guess what? In developing human potential as a societal norm, I connect with that man's dream. I connect with that unification, that type of unification. Did you ever stop to think that in the world of human nature, we are 99.9% the same in DNA? We are that aligned. And that the thing that's different is our genius is expressed in all these different ways, in all these infinite ways, in the ecosystem of life, the human system's self-expression into that world. We are the only ones that the ecosystem of life expresses the miracle of nature every day. We are, as human beings, are the only ones that have stopped that inside ourselves. So this class is going to give you a very safe place to do that. We're running close on time to open it up to questions. So the sixth session, we have 5 sessions with you that are, again, it's not for the faint of heart. It's for those who want to immerse and find who they are and be in this incredible safe environment to do that, and to be able to walk away and know that you have contributed to you, that you are contributing to your organization. So what we do, we have a follow-up with you after 90 days. And that follow-up is to have you come back in and have you communicate back to us how you have expressed your why. How have you done that? And we're going to give you every opportunity. You can express it in writing. You can make a presentation in that meeting. You can do a video of your why and what you did. You can do a video of your backstory and how you put all the pieces together to be able, and you're going to see backstories. So we're going to model the way all the way through, but we give you optimum opportunities to be able to come back and express. And so your even though the nexus of this is you, a better factor of this is your organization, because you are taking, just like Sam just took in I Matter, and it took her from being a lead to being the talent manager for the DWR for the state of California with 40 people. It took her from that place to this place. And it took her there during COVID, when everything was dynamic and moving backwards and restricting. Her team moved forward and expanded. It was exponential. So, what you get from that is our community-based program and our program for government are actually uniting. And there is a day of innovation where everyone that's in all the different programs are running, come in and demonstrate what they've accomplished, who they are. So leaders from this, people who are choosing to be you in the world, there will be leaders chosen to express themselves on December 4th at our Day of Innovation. And Sam will be, we at Cal IPGCA, we had what we called innovationists, and it wasn't an assignment. It was an opportunity to present a 3-minute TED Talk about anything you wanted. And what you didn't hear today in the video that Sam expressed to you verbally was her innovationist. So some of you will be chosen. The lights that want to shine will have the opportunity to shine. The next thing is you're participating. We're working on a DMV wallet project. DMV, you can download your identification card into your driver's license in the DMV wallet. We're expanding the wallet in a prototype and in a pilot to be an electronic resume. Because what you need to do is you have the human system, which is the engine of the train. Never lose sight that you are the engine of your train. But technology is a fuel that allows you to connect who you are to the world around you. Wouldn't it be great to have that just in your hand and have an electronic wallet? That's a pilot that one of our programs is demonstrating, and you will be part of that. You will be badged. You will get a badge when you finish this as part of downloading it into the DMV wallet, and you will be beta testing that. So there's lots of opportunities that come from this program to let it shine. And with that, what I'm going to do is say thank you and stop sharing. And now it's time to just open it to questions. So be bold, put your question in chat. You can unmute yourselves and let us know what questions you might have. Tina, you have a question. Unmute yourself and let us know.
Yes, hi, thank you. Two things. When you sign up, will you get I'm gonna put myself on camera so you can talk to a black box. When you sign up, will you know when it will start, and then all of it's virtual, right?
Yes, it's all
Or-
online on Zoom, and it starts March 6th.
And,
Okay.
Rebecca, hi Tina, this is Karen Evans with CPS. Yes, when you sign up, you'll get a notification after you've signed up of all the dates for each one of the sessions.
Okay, great. All right, thank you. And I have to say it out loud. You're giving me Louise Hay vibes. I know you've heard that before.
Yes.
I love Louise Hay. Ever since I'm a little one, I read You Can Heal Your Life, and then I love the red lip. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I look back and I say I never thought that I could wake up each day and I could wake up in the morning and teach human potential to government. I mean, that seems like an improbability, and yet it's happening. And yet the leaders we're bringing to you are part and parcel to what we do. So it is. I mean, and this is just my superpower. Sam has her superpower. Every single one of you has a superpower that's just ready, willing, and waiting to burst forth and be free. I mean, no doubt in my mind. Again, the miracle of human nature, the audacity that we would be left out. We are all miracles of human nature. And that miracle is the genius, the unique genius that each of us has to give. Other questions? I don't have access, so just shout out if there's more questions. Any others? So this is a way for you to demonstrate your boldness in being you, to not let the question, if you have it, sit inside of you, to not let you think that, oh my God, I can't really say that. Yes, you can. To put it in chat.
I'm not seeing any questions, Becca.
Okay, well, with that, what we want to do is actually let you know how intrinsically excited we are about the ability to offer this course. How much, oh, hi, Susan, I see you. If all of you want to turn your faces on now, that would be wonderful as we're saying goodbye and hanging up. If anyone else wants to do that, that would be incredible. But to say to you how wonderful. Oh, and here you are, and there's Camiar and Tammy and Christine. And oh my goodness, you're all showing up. That's wonderful. It would be incredible. Oh, and I love the hearts. Thank you. And Ross. Hi, Ross. How are you doing today? If Ross would have been here, Ross is my tech man and just came back from vacation last night. If Ross would have been here, there would not have been a technology glitch with the movie. But hey, I mean, you know, you've got a vacation. So when we teach the course, Ross will be a steady standby with us from a technology standpoint. And hi, Tammy, how are you doing? So we just really look forward to offering this. It will change your life. It will shift your organizational perspective. It will shift how you work with your coworkers, not only from a standpoint of contributing who you are to the world, but the capacity to really see the people you're working with. Because when you open up, you give them permission to open up as well. So you start seeing the world, and that's part of the way that it connects. That the more authentic we are, there's a universal truth that truth speaks to truth. So when you are being absolutely authentic inside of you and you are communicating with someone else, they can hear you, they can see you. And then that gives them, if they can speak, then I can too. And Susan, you have a question.
Yes, I do. It's actually not a question. It's just something that came out the top of my head. I a little bit about myself. I've been a supervisor for 20 years now, and I've been with the state of California for 27. And I just want to point out that being a leader, being any type of leader or manager, supervisor, whatever, there's no steps. There's no steps in being a role in having the role as a leader. You basically lead from the heart. But you have to be really true and authentic to yourself first in order to spread that type of leadership to your staff, your team members. And that's pretty much what I want to point out.
Well, I think what you're doing is really, in what your statement says, you're modeling the way. And you've been a leader, you've been a manager for 20 years. And you know, there are a lot of people say, well, you don't lead from the heart, you don't show that emotion, you don't show that level of authenticity. And yet what you just said, the way you modeled the way to the rest of us on the call, is that you have to be that. If you want your team to be that, you can't be that by telling them to do it, but not modeling the way yourself. And so I really want to thank you for that. It would be wonderful to have you as part of this. It would be wonderful to have you help us model the way with this group. We're at 1:02. Any one last question before we sign off? And Sam, anything you want to say before we sign off?
I think just my parting message to everyone is that you do matter. You make a difference. And we would love to be able to propel you even further on that journey. But if you take anything with you today, it is to know, please, you matter. You make a difference.
And if you have questions afterwards, just reach out to CPS HR, and they will respond to the questions. And if you need to connect to us, then they will do that for you. And again, a shout out to CPS HR and a big thank you in being our partner with this. It's just been so gratifying this last 6 months to create this with you, to have us both bring this to you today. And with that, I want to thank all of you for giving up your lunch hour, for sharing it with us. It means a lot. It does. And so take away, what I hope you take away from today is that the you that walks away, that we picked and poked some of that beauty that is within you, and that you want to release and live in the world, and that you want to fuel your organization with. And we look forward to the opportunity of doing that. So everyone, take care.